Okay, somebody requested a little bit of advice on how to play a Hakken, so this is going to be the video for that. Well, first off, let's address what they are. They are an offshoot of the Shadow Lord tribe. They are about 95% Japanese. They are part of the Beast Court, so therefore you will find them in the Hengi Yokai book. It's a nice little green book that mainly deals with the Beast Courts. It's very rarely used in a typical Guru game, but in this case, I'm going to address a Hakken as evidenced by interaction with Western Garou. Okay, first off, you are a Shadow Lord. They had three totems that they tended to follow back then. The first was, I can't even think of how it was pronounced, but it was basically Grandfather Thunder, which they still honor. There was basically a moon spirit, which is functionally Luna, which they still honor. And then there was a Master of Sea and Storms, which they honored for a while, but it was about life, which was the rain, and it was also about death, which was in tsunamis and tidal waves and so on. Well, more and more tsunamis and tidal waves started coming, so they've turned away from that totem for the most part because they're worried that it might have actually fallen to the worm and become a very destructive type deal. So, to play a Hakken in an Eastern or in a Western Garou game, you have to have a reason. Now, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be because you're in some way exiled or um, set apart from your clan. They are set up in a clan type scenario, which is all about families and alliances, and it's going to go into part of the lexicon, which I'll talk about in a moment. When dealing with Western Garou, they do consider the Shadow Lords kind of spiritual brothers, but only barely. They do not like the Shadow Lords because they don't feel that they have a polished sense of honor. Um, they'll play the political game as good as anyone, but there's got to be finesse to it with them. Basically, if they insult you, they don't want you to realize it because they were too polite and too straightforward. So, you have to be a very pompous, condescending kind of prick to play a Hakken correctly. Then you got to play it with, you got to play based on their belief code. They believe in benevolence and unselfishness. And this is represented by their daisho, which is their katana, and their wakizashi, which are the long blade and the short blade. They believe in carrying these weapons. They believe in that using them upon somebody is an act of mercy. They also believe that if you unsheath them, blood will be spilled. It is an intention. It's kind of like pulling a clave in the Western society. You pull a clave, you're calling for a death duel. They are very straightforward. It's tricky because they're straightforward in the Eastern sense, not in the Western sense. It's more like they appear to be straightforward. They appear to be forthright. They don't necessarily have to be. As I said, when you're hitting them with a really hard insult, but they don't realize it. That's perfect. They believe in wisdom. They believe in loyalty, and I'm talking eternal loyalty, like eternal obedience, because they play into the Bushido code. They believe in the maintenance of quality in all things. Basically, what that means is perfection. It's one of those Japanese things, whether it's vengeance, art, war, love, whatever it may be, they're going to seek perfection in it. They will accept their punishment for failure without complaint. They will not try to blame somebody else. That is another place where they shy off from the initial Shadow Lord bloodline. And they accept fate for injustice done to others. These are all part of their code. Now, they're organized by clans, which are led by a head of the clan, which is known as a daimyo. It's almost like a Garou society. It's like a smaller version in there. They're almost always blood related. They value their kin even more so than Shadow Lords. And but on rare occasions, they will accept others. It's the daimyo who can do so. Their renown is very, very um, stingy in how it's given out because it has to adhere to their code, and it should always be rife with glory, honor, and wisdom. They will not shortcut it. They will not claim something for, you know, for something they don't feel they deserve. So somebody playing a Hakken is going to go up at go up in rank at a slower rate than other people, and they do use the Western Garou ranking system. So other than that, I mean, the best way to illustrate that you are a Hakken rather than a Shadow Lord is one is obviously going to be your garb. You're going to want to dress in some sort of Eastern fashion or have something that's going to signify Eastern in some way. You're going to want to have that condescension that I was talking about, that politeness, overbearing politeness. And then you want to use the lexicon. Now, there's not a lot in the lexicon. Example, I mean, basically anybody who is a Hakken of lowest rank, they call an Ashigaru. Bushido is the way of the warrior. They refer to Chushin as loyalty. They refer to their families as clans, not like vampires, but clans nonetheless. The daimyo is the head of a Hakken clan. They refer to their mon, which is the family crest that they can wear. There's the term I was looking for. Narukami, that's the Lord of Thunder. Okay, so basically that's their version of Grandfather Thunder. And then there's Shintoku, which is the 9 virtues of benevolence, straightforwardness, and wisdom. It is kind of like their code. It is kind of like, they're not going to violate their Shintoku any more than somebody else is going to violate the litany. So you're going to want to use some of those terms lightly. You're going to want to, you might want to look at some other Japanese terms. You should stay Japanese. I mean, obviously, there's room for Korean, Chinese, Vietnamese, Laotian, maybe even Filipino. I mean, it's an Eastern culture, and they do accept them. But like I said, 90 to 95% of them are going to be Japanese because their biggest crime is mating outside the Hakken. They feel that the Gaijin are their bloodline is, diluted and worthless, and somebody who mates outside of, they're going to treat them worse than, say, the Silverfangs are going to treat somebody who publicly has mated with another Garou and formed in made a metis. So I hope that helped. That's about all I'm going to say at this point. It's it should be a very, very rare thing that they're interacting with the Westerners. They have to have some kind of reason to be there. Usually it's going to have to be some kind of exile or something that they're making up for. Otherwise, it's better suited for an NPC because, I mean, I could see, like, if you're playing in a West Coast of the United States game, you might want to have a daimyo have sent one of their Hakken, like, say, to San Francisco or Seattle or something to negotiate something. It's more of a storyline character. It's not going to be something I could see being in a campaign for very long unless it is dealing with the exile factor. Okay, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Peace out, man.